Hi there, and welcome to part 5 of the series of 5 webinars produced by DWAW. In this final part of the series, you will get the chance to look at alcohol and healthy ageing, and we'll be providing some practical tips to think about how much you are drinking. These webinars contain lots of learning from the Drinkwise Age Well programme and are split into the following 5 sections to enable you to watch and listen at your leisure. So part 1, why consider older adults in services? This section will provide an overview of the evidence and need for specific services for older adults. Part 2, what works in services for older adults? This will have a look at what we did learn about best practice. Part 3, the experience. So this will give us the chance to hear from our experts by experience, talk about what was important and supported them. Part 4, women and alcohol. An open and honest discussion about alcohol and being a woman. And then lastly, part 5, alcohol and ageing. So this was practical tips to think about alcohol in your life. I'm now going to take you through the final part of our series of 5 webinars, and this will discuss healthy ageing and alcohol. During this section, I will provide you with some useful information around about alcohol and ageing, as well as around about units, which will allow you to make changes for yourself or simply talk to someone else about the topic. What we know is that almost 80% of older adults will be drinking at home and alone when house measures are combined with a general lack of knowledge about what a unit of alcohol is. This combination can mean that individuals are more likely to exceed the UK government guidelines of 14 units a week, spread evenly over 3 or more days. So what is a unit of alcohol? Simply put, a unit of alcohol is 10 mils of pure alcohol. In terms of spirits, that would equate to one 25ml pub measure of a spirit at 40%. Something that we would often encourage people to do is a pour a unit challenge. This is asking someone to pour what they think 1 unit measure of a spirit would be, and then using a unit measure cup to kind of compare and contrast how close their guess was. We're quite aware that not everybody will have a unit measure at home, so a handy tip is using a teaspoon instead. So for example, a teaspoon will hold 5 mils of alcohol, so 5 teaspoons will equate to 25 mils. So this then enables everybody to do that pour a unit challenge, pour what they think a unit measure of a spirit is, and then use 5 teaspoons to compare and contrast how close their guess was. What we tend to find is people are quite surprised by how small a 1 unit measure of a spirit is. Okay, so now we're going to look at what does 14 units of alcohol look like. So 14 units of a spirit at the top left-hand side would be 14 25ml standard pub measures of a spirit at 40%, and that would total 14 units a week. Top right-hand side would be 6 pints of beer at 4%, and a key thing with beer is remembering that percentage can increase, and obviously as the percentage of the beer increases, the number of units contained in each pint will increase as well. The bottom left-hand side is 5 pints of cider at 4.5%. And again, similarly to beer, cider can be stronger than that. And again, as that strength increases, the number of units per pint will increase as well. Last but not least is 6 medium glasses of wine at 13%. And a key thing with wine is if you go to a pub or a restaurant, you're going to get 3 glass size options. So a small glass would be 125 mils, a medium glass would be 175 mils, and a large glass would be 250 mils. This can be quite challenging when people are drinking wine at home. Everybody's kind of glass size at home can be very varied. So it means that people are maybe unsure what size of glass they're actually having. A key tip here that we would pass on would be to actually look at how much of the bottle of wine that you've drank. So for example, if you have a bottle of wine that is 10 units in total and you have seen that you've drank half that bottle, then you know that you've drank 5 units. Another thing to point out about wine is the percentage can really vary, and again that will have an impact on the number of units that you're consuming. So now it's really important that we consider that as we age, our liver just simply doesn't work as it once did. So from as young as 50 and above, our liver just isn't as effective at processing alcohol. This means that it can take less alcohol to have the same effect. A lot of people are used to calculating that 1 unit of alcohol equals 1 hour for the liver to process it. And this is often thought about when people are trying to work out when it might be safe to drive the next day. However, as we age, so again, from as young as 50 and above, this equation can change. And this means that the liver can actually take up to 2.5 times longer to process alcohol. This then can have some serious implications for when you are then safe to drive. In addition to this, there are a number of countries that have specific guidelines that take this information into account, which means that for the older population, for older adults, their alcohol guidelines is actually lower. Currently in the UK, the guidance is 14 units a week for anyone over the age of 18. However, we're very much trying to get people to just remember and consider that simple fact that as we age, alcohol does have more impact on the body. So if after today you are thinking that you would like to make a change to how much you're drinking, I'm now going to take you through 6 tips for healthier choices about your alcohol use. Number 1, lower your risk. So stay within the recommended guidelines of 14 units per week and spread these out over a few days, so 3 or more days. Number 2, keep track. So use smaller glasses or a unit measure, or alternatively, as I mentioned at the start, if you don't have a unit measure, you can use the kind of 5 teaspoons approach. It's also that reminder that it's easier to pour yourself larger drinks when you're pouring drinks at home. So checking how much you pour using the pour a unit challenge that I've mentioned previously can really help you to keep track and potentially cut back. Number 3, that reminder that there is more to life. So getting older has its positives, such as more time to do things that we enjoy. We can focus on hobbies, interests, and socialising without alcohol. Number 4, give your body a break. So have at least 2 to 3 alcohol-free days each week. Number 5, eat something. Have a meal when you're drinking or eat something beforehand. And last but not least, number 6, is that reminder to keep hydrated. Have a non-alcoholic drink or water with or after each alcoholic drink. And also that reminder that sometimes we don't feel the effects of alcohol right away, and we may then drink a little bit too quickly as a result of that. So I'm now going to talk through the benefits of making a change. So simply making a change with your alcohol use can improve your health, relationships, and your energy levels. By cutting down on the amount you drink, you can also save money. Alcohol, although can potentially make people fall asleep easier, it ultimately disrupts the quality of your sleep. So reducing the amount you drink can mean that you have a more refreshing sleep and as a result have more energy. As discussed previously in this series of webinars, medication and alcohol can interact. As a result of this, reducing the amount you drink can mean that your medication may work better and be more effective. Reducing the amount of alcohol that you drink can give you the time and the opportunity to reignite old interests or find new hobbies that don't involve drinking. Reducing the amount that you drink can also mean that you're less likely to have an accident or fall, which is particularly relevant as we age. Reducing the amount that we drink can also improve our memory and also mean that we have a sharper mind. And last but not least, it might mean that we can stay healthy and independent for longer, which is ultimately what we're all striving to achieve. Thanks for taking the time to listen to our series of webinars. You can also find more information on our website, which is www.drinkwiseagewell.org.uk, including details of our alcohol helpline for older adults. This helpline is for anyone over 50 who would like free and confidential support with alcohol. If you would like to check if your service is doing the best it can for older adults who are drinking, then please take a look at our aims. So this is our Age Inclusive Model Service Toolkit, which walks you through ensuring your service and support is accessible for all ages and stages in life. It contains lots of helpful tips and information and allows you to rate your service against checklists and standards that have been created in co-production with older adults. Thanks again.